Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Kemp and I'm here to tell you about my experience that I had with CASA. As I said, my name is Sarah and I live here in Greenville, Tennessee, and I have done so for the past 7 years. I have a 4-year-old little boy named Gabriel and I'm a senior here at ETSU. I will be graduating in May with my bachelor's in human services and a minor in family studies. When I was looking for a place to complete my fieldwork, I wanted to find somewhere to give me some insight on my future career plans, and as a former foster child, it made my options limited. It made my options limited because of the possibility of running into somebody that I knew as I was wanting to be a foster care case manager. I'd done my research and was actually able to find the Agency of Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children, or known as CASA. CASA was founded in 1977 by a judge in Seattle who was concerned about making the best choices for abused and neglected children without having all the needed information to make that choice. They became part of the Northeast Tennessee in 1985 through the help of ETSU and finally broke away in 2004 to become their own independent organization. CASA is all over the U.S. and between Greenville and Johnson City there are more than 70 advocates. CASA is here to be the children's voice inside the courtroom and the judge's eyes and ears outside the courtroom. They are all volunteers and are trained to find key points in the child's life when they begin to do their research on the child's home life. Overall, CASA is the ones that can see what the home life is for the child while keeping and making sure that the child is safe, as well as being nourished to become the most successful that they can in the community. They also connect with anyone that has contact with a child to get a better picture, whether that's in school or extracurricular activities, etc. They work beside DCS in some cases, while at the same time making sure no child is overlooked by DCS either. Since 2004, they have helped more than 1,200 children and with the help of 60 advocates. By their help, they make it less likely for children to spend long-term care in the foster care system while making it more likely that they will become adopted. CASA is a nonprofit agency and they get all their money to run the organization through donations of individuals along with sponsors like MSHA and ECU. They also get some government grants as well. The money that is donated is used to properly train the volunteers, make awareness, fundraising, etc. After looking over their yearly statistics, it seems as though that they have enough donations to make their yearly expenses. I feel as though if they had more donations, that they would try and give some of their volunteers some reimbursement for their help, whether that's for car expenses, gas, just food, anything to help with their personal time that they spend on these cases. When reflecting on my time here at CASA and what makes them different, they are here to keep each child safe and to make sure no child is looked over in the system. They become close with each of the children while making them comfortable as well, so they are able to easily communicate with them. They are able to actually get the insight into each of their lives or the behind the scenes that most of us cannot get. And this allows them to find out how to help them in their future and make sure each child is taken care of, whether it's to go back home or go somewhere else, just to make sure each child is actually safe in their home. If I could change one thing about CASA, it would be about their finances, where they would not have to worry about it and they were able to pay some of their volunteers and for their daily expenses and the time that they have spent. Overall, my experience was good, and I feel as though I was able to get some insight of my future career within the foster care system. I was able to do a lot of local research for CASA, as most of their clients were either my age, or I knew them, or I knew of those people. There was one experience that stood out to me a lot, and it was actually a little girl and a little boy that I was actually able to go to the home with and see firsthand what they experienced. These two kids were brought up here to Tennessee from Texas by their mother and dropped to a home that we're not even sure if they were actually related to this woman at all in any way. The home they were in was nothing but filth, and really it was not a good, safe home for these children. DCS had actually tried to close this case, and CASA stepped in to make sure these children were removed and put somewhere that was environmental friendly and was safe for these children. The children looked like they actually hadn't had baths in weeks, and the more information we got, the worse it was. The little girl was actually abused sexually by her brother that was age 6. The little girl was age 4. And if you hear about something like this, it's just not natural for the children to be doing these types of things. And for DCS to know this information and to try to close this case was bizarre to me. There was so much going on that it amazed me that DCS wanted to say everything was fine with these children. Through the help of CASA and the judge and everything else, these children are actually finally removed from the home and are placed in the foster care system with a nice family. We get updates about these children, and they are now saying that they are happy-go-lucky little kids running the halls, singing, being happy, and they are actually getting the counseling that they finally need to have.